hello. Welcome. My name is Marshawn Evans-Daniels, reinvention strategist, life catalyst, founder of the Godfidence movement, author of the book, Believe Bigger, Discover the Path to Your Life Purpose, and also Skirts in the Boardroom, I haven't read this one in a while, a woman's survival guide to success in business and life. I just happen to have these out from a training I did last night on the table. If this is your first time connecting with me, be sure that you turn the notifications on. You can get a free training from me at marshawn.com. Just click the Start Here button. You can sign up and have that sent to your inbox. And we also have an amazing course that's available right now. It is a 90-day program and live event with me called the Speaking and Coaching Retreat. I've been talking about it all week. The link is in the bio if you're with me on Facebook. And I'll put it in here on Instagram. Registration is open. The deadline is this Monday, and I'm doing a live encore of my training from earlier this week. We had thousands of people from all around the world. So I'm doing a live encore today at 1:00 p.m. Eastern. You can email our team, me at marshawn.com, if you don't have that. But if you sign up for the training, you should already have that link in your inbox. And some of you are coming on. So I'll be doing some hot seat makeovers on that. And I'm hot right now, y'all, because I did hot like in a good way. Like, you know, when basketball, they're dropping them threes back to back to back to back to back to back. That's the kind of hot I'm talking about, because I got to do a session with some amazing entrepreneurs, believers, and the bar was so open last night. Stuff was coming straight from heaven. Made over a lot of businesses last night. So I decided today on the Q&A, and this is for those who are thinking about coming to the Speaking and Coaching Retreat, I'm going to do some hot seat makeovers. So today I wanted to talk about mentorship. One of the most common questions I get every single day is, Marshawn, will you be my mentor? And those questions increase tremendously when I'm in the middle of a launch or opening up opportunity to work with me, which is very rare right now. We don't offer our high-end mastermind programs at this time, but we might do that in late 2020 or 2021. I know that seems like a long time to wait, but you know, you've just got to go with the pacing when you're supposed to do certain things. So that's not a final date, but that's just what it is. And so for me, I offer high-end coaching. I run a high-end coaching business, one of the only high-end coaching businesses for women of faith in the country. What do I mean by high-end? Well, I'm driven right now by the scripture, Isaiah 55:8-9, which says, as the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts higher than your thoughts. And I love that scripture because it talks about operating, and it gives us, I believe, permission to understand how to operate in the higher realm, the higher dimension, higher frequency, higher wavelength, and in the mind of God. Now, I believe that so many people outside of the body of Christ have hijacked words like frequency, wavelength, dimension, but I believe these are things that Christ manifested and that he operated in. And so I claim all of them under the blood in their original intention. So with that, when people are struggling in business, it means they're operating in a lower dimension. It means they're operating in a place of confusion, clutter. This is where poverty is. This is where being stuck is. This is where stagnation happens. This is where there's something indicating that you're not in the higher frequency where yoke is easy, burden is light, Matthew 11:30. You're not in that place where there's a natural synergy where people are flocking to you in terms of clients and customers. So, and it's okay to be stuck. Like everyone is stuck at some point in their life. I've been there, you know, and as we go to new levels, we have to understand, wow, what got me here may not get me there. So, I run a high-end mentorship program, a high-end coaching company, I should say, and I want to operate at the highest level and chose to stay there. So what that means is I price at a premium. I offer high-level services. I decided when I first started that I wanted to be the Rolls Royce of coaching, and that turned into being I didn't have a desire. I didn't have an intention at the time, because I wasn't that woke to use the word purpose. I just needed to make a paycheck. And I saw people charging a premium, and I wanted to operate in that space utilizing the caliber of my background. And so what I do today is I provide a safe place for women to stretch themselves, to grow, to be what I call the true Proverbs 31 woman, not someone who just wears white. I doubt the Proverbs 31 woman actually wore white every Sunday with a big hat. I really doubt that was her attire. I know we like to dress it up in some kind of a ceremonial view, but she was really a mogul. She was a global trader, right? And to be mentioned in the book and to have that level of dominance and authority, she was something probably that the world had never seen before. And that's the type of community that I'm looking to create. I also want to say real quickly that this is getting to the point where this is going to be one of the last broadcasts that y'all see me doing. I've been doing them every day this week. I know some people have gotten used to seeing free content, and I did a paid session yesterday with paying clients. We had 230 something people register for a particular program. A little more than, well, just about that number. And someone asked, can I see the replay? And I'm like, that's a paid thing. And I think that sometimes we get used to seeing access to things, and we're like, oh, I just want the free thing. I just want the free thing. I just want the free thing. Why? That's a lower frequency request. Now, there's nothing wrong with asking for that, but it is one of the reasons why I wanted to do this broadcast really quickly today on the 7 things that you should be looking for in a high-end mentor. If someone is a high-end mentor, they do not have time to hang out with you and to teach you about how to change your life. They just don't. So I get messages also every day where people are saying, hey, it took a lot for me to reach out to you, to share my whatever, but I was hoping you would be able to mentor me. That doesn't take a lot. That's not faith. That's also not believing. That's begging. That's asking for something, especially when it's in somebody's career field. I mentor and I coach for a living. I mentor my family and my friends' children. That's who I mentor for free. I mentor people who are related to me by blood, or children, because that is what kids need. But adults do not need that. And I got not in trouble, but I remember I wrote this for an article with Black Enterprise years ago. And the editor over my article, I was a paid writer for Black Enterprise for about a year. And I remember the editor telling me that she completely disagreed. She was disappointed, and she didn't. I said, I don't care. It's an opinion piece. I'm the columnist. I'm the expert on this right now. And I'm telling you, this is what is holding people back in their professional lives, is they're waiting on a mentor, someone to pick them, someone to carry them. And it so radically disrupted her thoughts of how she had been trained. And just because you've been conditioned to think a certain way doesn't mean it's the way that you will ever get you to where it is that you desire. Oftentimes, it's how we're thinking that is stopping us from thriving. It is that simple. If there's any area where you're stuck, every life shift begins with a mind shift. And many of you are waiting, and you've been praying on God to send you somebody to pick you, when you need to pick the person that clearly God has sent to you. If you've been watching me all day or every day this week, if you've been watching me for the past several months, if you've been watching me for the past year, and if you've been watching me for the past several years, and you continue to come and eat at the free buffet, that is a lower dimensional behavior. I'm just straight no chaser. I don't need anything from you. I'm just telling you the truth, because I see these behaviors, and I understand that we live in an information overload, a society where we are addicted to digital buffetism. Okay, we are so addicted to the digital buffet. And what it is doing, it is creating a fatness and overweightness in your life to where you are not trim, lean, and fit when it comes to your finances, when it comes to your business. So you don't have a problem with information. You have a lack of wisdom. You have a lack of mentorship. You have a lack of leadership and guidance in your life. And because you're operating at a lower dimension, you're not willing to get out. And so it's comfortable to watch. As my husband says, it's safe to wish. And it's easy to fall in love with the addiction of being in your journal that makes you think that you're growing because you get an aha, and it's not your fault. Sunday has trained us every single Sunday to be drunk on inspiration and to get a hit, and then we wait for the next one. What's the version of that online? We wait for the live button to come on Facebook. Right? We wait for the live button to come on Instagram, and we're like, okay, they're giving away free food again. Well, guess who does that? Homeless people. We wait for free food, but that's not what the wealthy people do. So if somebody is successful and they coach, mentor at the highest level as their profession, they do not have time to mentor you for free. And stop asking that. That is not faith. That is not asking ye shall receive. That is not believing. That is begging. And that is taking yourself the exit ramp out of acceleration, which means hire the person that you know God has sent into your life. Stop sleeping on this, because as I've said, the flood is coming, the recession is coming, the rain is coming, and you have had the opportunity to do whatever you need to do, because if you're going to be successful in business, you've got to become a resilient, resourceful person. A resourceful person figures things out. They don't ask somebody else to figure it out for them. Now, we love to work with people, but we won't do it for you, because that's not mentorship. That's not quality coaching. All right. So here are the things. Hey, babe. Here are the things you should be looking for in a high-end mentor. Hey. We want to say hi to Jack. Okay, I got to go. I got to keep moving.
Keep moving.
You're welcome to do whatever you like to do, though. It's your house. So y'all understand what I mean, first of all, by high-end mentor, right? Quality, caliber, higher dimension, higher frequency. And if this is where you want to operate, you need to do what it takes to get into alignment with the type of people that will get you to where it is that you want to be. Just straight up. And again, waiting for the free food to be given out digitally is no different than the hunger line, right? That homeless people feed upon. I'm not criticizing the homeless. I'm just saying the entrepreneur should be feeding the homeless. And the question is, are you acting like a homeless person online, constantly waiting for free food to be given out? Let that sink in. Have you made high-end quality investments? Or are you doing low-level poverty activity by looking for the least expensive, cheapest thing possible to build wealth? It doesn't work like that. Okay? So these are the 7 things you should look for in a high-end mentor. First, I want to tell you there's a difference between a mentor, a mechanic, and a magician. Now, this is an original concept, right? This is not something I learned from somebody else. This is something that came to me during my sabbatical time. A mechanic is somebody who does something very specific. Let's say a graphic designer or a copywriter, a ghostwriter, someone who does Facebook ads. They're not here to mentor you. If someone's going to teach you how to do video or how to do makeup, how to cook your food, they're most likely a mechanic, which there is need for. I hire mechanics every single day to execute needs in the business. So a mechanic is someone you would hire to teach you a particular skill. A mentor, though, is someone who I call a Mr. Miyagi. If you haven't seen the original Karate Kid and you don't really know about Mr. Miyagi, you're missing out on your life, okay? But Mr. Miyagi is someone who will mentor your entire life, meaning spiritually, emotionally, practically, and in terms of business, or whatever the skill is you're looking for, in terms of the capacity. This is where it means to be transformed by the renewing of your mind, where you have a 360 type of an experience. Now, when I first started, I thought I was really, in retrospect, more of a mechanic, meaning I was teaching people branding. But then they were coming and I was starting to teach more around spiritual wisdom. And then I started seeing people's relationships with their kids and their spouses get better, and people were no longer drinking anymore. And then there were miracles happening. And then there was also business, branding, marketing, and sales. And there was increase in income, influence, and television and media. And I recognize that some people have the mantle of a master mentor. So I operate as a master mentor, and the people who work with me are the type of women who know they want to elevate all of their life, leaving nothing behind. The third type is a magician, and the magician is somebody who is really just someone that you are stuck on because they have fancy cars, right? So a lot of you are stuck and caught up with people who are superficial, and there's a reason why you're left empty, because there was never an ability for that person to be able to properly mentor you. They may have had great results and great success in their life, and they might be a mentor to somebody else, but if there's not an alignment, specifically with one of the things I'm going to tell you with values, that relationship is going to leave you lacking. If this is good, I want you to share this with people. Just hit share. And so when you see flashy cars and you see people talking about their success stories, and you see other people that really don't have the same aligned and shared values with you, but they're successful, you should have hired them to be a mechanic, not a mentor. And there's a reason why that's not where you should be surrendering under to, because to understand literally means to stand under, right? So you're standing under something and someone and a teaching that doesn't have the type of understanding that you need to grow, particularly as a believer. So these are the three different kinds, and you need to know what is it you need to look for in a high-end mentor if you want to build a high-end business. Everybody doesn't want that. Everybody doesn't want to run a Tiffany and Company type of enterprise. That's just what I run, and that's what I help other women build and get on the path towards that at all levels. I see Casey Sharperson on. And she is, I saw you post last night when I should have been asleep and I was on Facebook for a minute on my personal page, which please don't invite me to be your friend on my personal page, because we're not friends, right? So I don't use my personal page for business and all of that. So don't be offended when I don't like or accept your friendship request. I don't accept anyone's request. I don't even go and look at the friend request unless someone needs to add me to a private group that I'm already in. But I don't really mess with Facebook like that on my personal page. Casey is traveling. Can you just post, Casey, so I don't have to try to remember? You said you're traveling for like the next 2 weeks, speaking, coaching, and doing events, something like that. And she was being a minimalist, packing. She came to the very first speaking and coaching retreat. Casey's a brand strategist locked up inside of her. I think it's starting to come out more and more. But she's a millennial. She was one of the youngest women, and probably the youngest one to ever enroll in our mastermind program. She did our $10,000 mastermind. I think she was 23 years old. Casey's very woke. Her dad, who also is former military, was in our second tier mastermind. I think that is the first time. No, that year we had two parent child. We had a father-daughter with Casey and her father. And then we had a mother-daughter that were in the same mastermind, sort of. Her daughter was in the highest top 3 tier. But so that was pretty cool. But Casey's traveling. Yay, which I'm so excited about. I love seeing people who have longevity of success. So here's what you should look for in an actual mentor. Number one is that they are experienced, meaning that they are leaps ahead of you, not just steps ahead of you. And many times we're looking for, again, the cheapest option, higher ways and lower ways. Now, you can travel by road or you can travel by highway. You can travel by dirt and unpaved pathways with people who are putting out signs in unmanicured areas saying, hey, here's the way, I'm going to give you a ride. Or you can take a jetliner, or you could take an aircraft or a helicopter or a higher level vehicle that can get you there faster. And if that person is putting their paving through the road, that means they don't actually see the entire picture because they've never operated at a higher level. And I wrote about this in Believe Bigger, of having a higher level view to be able to see where people are going. So last night, I think I probably did at least 30, maybe 40, maybe at least 30 brand makeovers last night. And being able to do them quickly now is because when you operate at a higher level, I don't even have to hear your voice to be able to fix your business, right? And your mentor, whomever you're looking at, should be leaps ahead. They should have several more zeros behind their income than you do in order for them to have the proper perspective to actually help you. That is why the group that I'm looking at and studying right now is a $30 to $40 million company, because they have more zeros. right? So we're working towards our 8-figure mark as opposed to a 7-figure mark. And there are areas where I've been ahead of my mentors when it comes to media, when it comes to getting published with books. There are things that I've done that they never do, but there are things that they've done that I've never done. And so in those areas, that's where I look to learn from them. Many of them end up asking me to come and teach their clients on the things that I thrive in. So number one, experience. They should be leaps ahead, not just steps ahead. And you should be able to see that clearly in the day-to-day activity, right? When people are online right now, they're telling you what do they do every day. You can see if they're getting booked as a speaker. You can see if they actually have coaching clients and at what caliber and what level. Number two is they should be results oriented. They should be results oriented, meaning and those results should be relevant results. A lot of people have spiritual mentors that are in the entrepreneurship world, right? But that doesn't mean that they actually have business results that they get for other people. So you need to look at, do they actually talk about specific results or just general business success? If it's general business success, you probably do not have someone who actually teaches real business. Right now, and this is something that I like working with people on who have a calling to help other entrepreneurs who want to blend faith and business. Let me tell you this straight up, again, straight no chaser. If you want to help believers in business, you need to become better at business, because otherwise you're going to have these revival pep rallies that are great in the spiritual realm, great for healing and miracles, and I think it's fantastic. But I've had a lot of people who filled out these applications, and you've got to work on your business skills. You've got to work on it. You've got to work on your business branding, marketing, and sales. You've got to work on client intake, retention. You've got to work on pricing, packages, and programs. You've got to invest at a high level so you give something that's higher up for people to aspire to, not just an inch away, but truly a leap away. You need to be at a further level, right? And you've got to be able to build that skill set. So results oriented, not just faith oriented, but results oriented. And can they enumerate the specific type of system they're going to teach you? So you want a mentor that's results and with relevant results. The type, when I say relevant results, I mean the type of results that are relevant to you. Number three, you need aligned values, right? They have the same values as you. Number four, they should be a good teacher, meaning they look for, and you should look for the results that they get in other people. That's one way you know they're a good teacher. Not everyone who's successful can teach it. You should be able to ask them questions and they should be able to answer things quickly. That gives you an understanding that they know what they're talking about. You should be looking for consistent patterns in success in other people, right? Do they consistently help people? So for us, do we consistently help people to become speakers? We consistently help people to become coaches. And then out of the overflow of that, do they have success in other areas that is common for successful speakers and coaches? Number five, they should be an investor, meaning they invest in themselves. And then you don't want someone who is asking you to invest if they don't do investments, and they should talk to you about their investment journey. I talk about my first course that I invested in at $500 and then $12,000 and then $50,000. Number six, they should price their services at a premium. At a premium. If they're a high-level mentor, their prices should show it. Otherwise, you're getting a discount. And if you're getting a discount, are they a high-level mentor? Because that's not good mentorship, right? It is bad mentorship for me to be able to offer low-end prices. And then lastly, they should have passion and love for what it is that they do. So, and you should be able to see that. And that passion can come through with joy. It can also come through with directness. Because when I look at a trainer loves you, but they love you enough to tell you that you're punking out on yourself, to tell you that you are gaining weight as opposed to losing weight, to tell you that you're not getting faster, to tell you that you don't have what it is that you need to actually get to the goals and results that you desire. So those are the 7 things you should be looking for those of you who are on the fence about joining us for the speaking and coaching retreat. If you're on the fence, I want to invite you to get off the fence. And one of the things you can do to do that is you can go to marshawn.com/SCR if you've been looking for a high-level mentor. If you're not, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that, right? It's literally just a choice in terms of what level do you want to be in. and how resourceful do you want to be to get to where you desire. And we do have an open Q&A that will be happening today at 1 o'clock. So I'll be answering questions about the retreat. And so I want you to guard against voyeurism. I want you to guard against just enjoying the free digital buffet, because that's, again, homeless people wait for free information like a drug addict waits for their next hit. And I don't say that to be disrespectful at all, but I do say it so that you can get an understanding of what your pattern is that keeps you operating in a realm of confusion. If you're looking to be a speaker and a coach, just go to the website, marshawn.com/S as in speaking, C as in coaching, R as retreat. And take a look at all the testimonials, take a look at the pricing, take a look at the curriculum, the amazing overload of information, and the generous gift. And I'm not balking at $2,500 to $3,500, which is the tuition being, chump change. But as you grow in your business, it should become chump change. And I want you to feel it. That's what I believe, that you're a mentor should price at a premium, so that you feel it, because when you have skin in the game, you change the game. You're in the game. You don't quit. You don't treat it like this passive little recurring $7 a month thing. You treat it like something that you need to pay attention to, and it's time for you to pay attention to your destiny. So if you're joining me at 1, I'll be doing some hot seat makeovers. We'll be answering questions. Jack will be on. You'll hear from past clients, past attendees. Grace isn't able to be on at 1. But listen, y'all, I went to SCR and it was everything. I literally was watching some of the footage yesterday, and you had braids at the time, this March, and watched your question that you asked. So it was wonderful getting to meet everyone. But y'all, that's it for me today. And if you are registered before I do the live session today, I'll be shouting out those who are registered, and you get access immediately to the curriculum before you register. But the buffet is about to end, because we're about to serve filet to those who have come into the higher level dining experience that we're going to be providing as coaches and teachers from our company. So I'm not okay when I miss out on opportunities to grow and to quantum leap. You have to determine, where do you want to be in this season of your life? All right, y'all. God bless. Bye.